After wrapping his Varanasi visit, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the eastern state of Bihar will inaugurate new campus of Nalanda University and other infrastructure projects. Russian President Vladimir Putin receives warm welcome by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on his historic visit. Both leaders vow new multipolar world. US President Joe Biden unveils one of the largest immigration plans, allowing hundreds of thousands to gain the country's citizenship. US reiterates its obligation to defend the Philippines after new clash in the disputed South China Sea, says China's actions aggressive and dangerous. And proud moment for India again. Neeraj Chopra wins gold medal in men's javelin throw at Power Nomi Games 2024 in Finland ahead of the upcoming Paris Olympics. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating the new campus of the Nalanda University in Rajgir in the eastern state of Bihar on Wednesday. Conceived as an international university under a joint collaboration between India and the East Asia Summit countries, the ceremony will also be attended by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and ambassadors of 17 nations. The university offers postgraduate and doctoral research courses. The Net Zero campus is located close to the ruins of ancient Nalanda University, which was established around 1600 years ago. And now we'll get you quick highlights on the Nalanda University. It started functioning in 2014 from a makeshift campus with 14 students. The construction work of the university began in 2017. The international university is supported by 17 nations, including Australia, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and South Korea. It offers 137 scholarships to international students. These include scholarships sponsored by ASEAN India Fund and the BIMSTEC scholarships. It has 6 schools, including the School of Buddhist Studies. With 40 classrooms, the university's 2 academic blocks have a seating capacity of nearly 1,900. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated in a program felicitating farmers in Varanasi, a city in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. The Prime Minister released the 17th installment amounting to more than $2.5 billion to around 92 million beneficiaries through the direct benefit transfer method. So far, more than 110 million eligible farmer families have received benefits of more than $37 billion under the government's program. During the event, the Prime Minister granted certificates to more than 30,000 women from the self-help groups. After being sworn in as the Prime Minister for the 3rd time, Prime Minister Modi had signed his first file authorizing the release of the 17th installment, reflecting the commitment of government towards the welfare of the farmers. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that more than 1 million farmers joined the government program, whereby farmers get a fixed amount of money as minimum income support.
किसान सम्मान निधि में सही लाभार्थी तक लाभ पहुंचाने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी का बेहतर इस्तेमाल हुआ है। कुछ महीने पहले ही विकसित भारत संकल्प यात्रा के दौरान भी 1 करोड़ से अधिक किसान इस योजना से जुड़े हैं। सरकार ने पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि का लाभ पाने के लिए कई नियमों को भी सरल किया है। जब सही नीयत होती है, सेवा की भावना होती है, तो ऐसे ही तेजी से किसान हित के जनहित के काम होता है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a massive roadshow in Varanasi. People in large numbers gathered to have a glimpse of the Prime Minister. They also showered flowers at the cavalcade of the Prime Minister. Later, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Shashwamedh Ghat in Varanasi. He also conducted Ganga Pujan and other rituals at the Ghat. Ganga Aarti was performed in his presence. Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also graced the occasion. Prime Minister also witnessed the bhajans performed at the Ghat.
साष्ट्रांगोऽयं प्रणम्यास्तु प्रयत्नेन मया कृता ओम मद्यात्पुरवचारितेवं ग्रह गुणगण विशेषण विशिष्टायां जय जगन्माता ओम जय गंगे माता मैया जय गंगे माता जो नर तुमको
After Ganga Aarti, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi and offered prayers. He worshipped Lord Shiva in the temple and performed various sacred rituals.
दामोदराय नमः संकर्षणाय नमः वासुदेवाय नमः प्रद्युम्नाय नमः कुरुप्रजाभ्यो भजन्नः पशुभ्यः तिर्भवतु श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः लक्ष्मीनारायणाभ्याम् उत्तरायणे ग्रीष्मऋतौ महामाङ्गल्यप्रथमासोत्तमे पुण्यपवित्रे शुभे विघ्नता परिसमाप्त्यर्थं महागणपतिस्मरणं च करिष्मुतते नमः जाते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापगासिनी संतमया.
After wrapping his Varanasi visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi undertook a surprise visit to review the work underway to build a stadium and sports complex in Varanasi. Once ready, it will cater to the needs of the youth and further enhance a sporting culture in the city. Sharing it on social media platform X, Prime Minister wrote, and I quote him, reviewed the progress at Dr. Sampurnanand Sports Stadium in Kashi. Now, this stadium and sports complex will greatly help the youth of Kashi. Varanasi is one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities. Kashi, its ancient name, was associated with the kingdom of the same name more than 2 millennia ago. But its journey from a symbol of faith to a symbol of development is nothing short of remarkable. Take a look at this report.
Varanasi, also known as Banaras or Kashi, the spiritual capital of India and one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. It is one of the most sacred cities in Hindu religion, a place of pilgrimage for Hindus. Hindus believe that breathing one's last on the banks of Varanasi leads to salvation and freedom from the cycle of birth and rebirth. It is believed that the river Ganga, which flows through Varanasi, washes away the sins of mortals. Varanasi has attracted people from all over the world for ages. An English author, Mark Twain, visited Varanasi in the second half of the 19th century. Enthralled by the city's legend, Twain wrote that Banaras is older than history, older than tradition, older even than legend, and looks twice as old as all of them put together. It remains popular to this day. US actor Brad Pitt has spoken about his visit to the absolutely staggering Varanasi. Another actor, Morgan Freeman, found his stay in Varanasi extremely fascinating. An English cricketer, Steve Wow visited Varanasi to fulfill the last wish of a deceased shoe shiner from Sydney. The man's last wish was to have his ashes scattered in the Ganga. 32 tourists from Switzerland signed up for the maiden voyage of the MV Ganga Vilas. The world's longest river cruise was flagged off by the Prime Minister in January 2023. It travelled more than 3,000 kilometers in 51 days from Varanasi to Dibrugarh in India via Bangladesh. The late Prime Minister of Japan, Abe Shinzo, performed and attended the Ganga Aarti along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Aarti is a Hindu ceremony in which lights with wicks soaked in ghee are lit and offered up to one or more deities.
लेकिन आज यहाँ आने के बाद लगता है कि न मुझे किसी ने भेजा है न मैं यहाँ आया हूँ, मुझे तो माँ गंगा ने बुलाया है.
Varanasi's journey from a symbol of faith to a symbol of development is nothing short of remarkable. In 2014, Narendra Modi visited the city to file his nomination for the first time for the parliamentary election. He won the election from Varanasi in 2019 and again in 2024. The development works accomplished in the city with Modi as lawmaker has become an example for others. Next generation infrastructure such as modern transport facilities and convention centers have come up in the last decade, retaining the original temperament and culture of Varanasi. Bureau Report, DD India.
A U.S. delegation comprising of sitting and former lawmakers is visiting India. The delegation, which also includes a former U.S. Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, reached Himachal Pradesh's Kangra airport on Tuesday. They have sought an audience with Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, in Dharamshala. The delegation was received by officials from the Central Tibetan Administration. The purpose of the visit is to reinforce the resolution that the U.S. signed for a peaceful resolution of a dispute over the status and governance of Tibet. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India now. The 4-day International Summer Festival in North Indian town of Shimla is concluding today. The festival celebrates and showcases the culture of Himachal Pradesh. The Energy and Resources Institute, a prominent organization working in the field of environment in India, completed 50 years since its establishment. To mark this occasion, a program was organized in New Delhi, attended by distinguished guests, including former Central Minister and current Chancellor of Rishi Hood University, Suresh Prabhu. The Delhi airport became the first in India and second airport in the world to introduce quick drop solution for self-service bag drop facility. At present, 50 such units have been installed at Terminal 1 and Terminal 3. The facility reduces the processing time from about a minute to 30 seconds. Evacuation of stranded tourists continued on Wednesday in North Sikkim's Mangan. More than 1,200 tourists have been stranded in North Sikkim since June 12 due to extreme weather. Trishakti Corps troops are assisting the speed up of the relief operations conducted by the civil administration. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. But after the break, South Korea orders doctors to return to work amid prolonged strike. Ahead of the International Yoga Day, we bring you exclusive reports on importance and benefits of yoga in everyday life. Virat Kohli meets legendary Wesley Hall ahead of T20 World Cup 2024 Super 8.
Rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live and I'm Preeti. Let's continue getting you more updates. In international updates, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in North Korea, marking his first visit in 24 years. Putin has affirmed Russia's commitment to strengthening trade and security relations with North Korea and will support it combat adverse impacts of sanctions imposed by the US and other Western nations. Upon his arrival on Tuesday, Putin was greeted by North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un at a welcoming ceremony in Pyongyang. The two leaders held a brief meeting and agreed to develop relations between the two countries. Putin and Kim are scheduled to meet again on Wednesday for one-on-one discussions, as well as signing of documents and a statement to the media. Also, the United States has voiced concerns about closer ties between Russia and North Korea, saying that the deepening cooperation between the two countries is of concern for anyone that's interested in maintaining peace and stability on the Korean peninsula.
The deepening cooperation between Russia and the DPRK is something that should be of concern, especially to anyone that's interested in maintaining peace and stability on the Korean peninsula, but also supporting the people of Ukraine as they continue to fight against Russian aggression. And so, of course, you're well aware of DPRK providing ammunition and weapons to Russia that's been able to help them perpetuate their illegal and unprovoked war against the Ukrainian people. So it's something that we're going to continue to keep an eye on.
US President Joe Biden has outlined what he called a common sense fix to give undocumented immigrants legal status in the United States. His plan allows around 500,000 people living in the US illegally who are married to US citizens the chance to apply for green cards without leaving the US. The administration says it will keep the families together rather than forcing them to leave America while their paperwork is processed. Nick Harper gets us details from Washington.
In outlining this plan, President Joe Biden called it a common sense fix. Up until now, the spouses and children of US citizens have been allowed to remain in the United States to apply for green cards, which gives them the ability to live and work legally here. But in order to do so, they've had to leave the United States, often for as much as a decade, while all of that paperwork is processed. This new scheme gets rid of that, allowing them to stay in the US while that paperwork is processed. Joe Biden called that past application process cumbersome, risky, and he said it separated families. This new plan, he said, would keep those families together, families that he said have often been living under the shadow of the possibility of deportation.
Second action I'm announcing today was about keeping families together. These couples have been raising families, sending their kids to church and school, paying taxes, contributing to our country for 10 years or more. Matter of fact, the average time they've spent here is 23 years. People were affected today. But living in the United States all this time with this fear and uncertainty, we can fix that. And that's what I'm going to do today. Fix it.
He's hoping that this will be a vote winner, in particular to Hispanic voters out there in border states and swing states like Arizona. It's also in many ways an olive branch to those immigration advocates who criticized his plan earlier this month to roll back some of the application processes and privileges that asylum seekers received on the border. But of course, his rival in November's election, Donald Trump, has already come out heavily criticizing this plan being put in place. He said that it is a mass amnesty plan, Donald Trump calling it something that will undoubtedly lead to a greater surge in migrant crime that will cost taxpayers millions of dollars. And he also says that Biden doesn't care about the American lives that will be forever destroyed by the illegal criminals that he is importing into the United States. Biden, though, is trying to contrast his policy with that of his predecessors. He's saying that he's keeping families together with this new plan, contrasting it with Donald Trump's controversial policy when he was in power, which separated families at the border, often removing children from their parents while they were deported from the United States. Nick Harper in Washington, reporting for DD India.
The United States renewed a warning on Tuesday that it is obligated to defend its close treaty ally, a day after Filipino Navy personnel were injured and their supply boats damaged in one of the most serious confrontations between Philippines and China in the disputed shoal in the South China Sea. South Korea's largest lobby group for doctors held a one-day walkout on Tuesday as part of months-long protests that began in February against the government's healthcare policies. Thousands of medical practitioners gathered in Seoul protesting against the government's plans to increase annual medical school admissions. And now all the updates on the International Day of Yoga, which will be celebrated on 21st of June. We all know that yoga is more than just physical exercise. It is a comprehensive practice that promotes overall health and harmony. Originating from India, yoga has attracted major global attention, becoming an integral part of people all around the world. DD India's Priya Yadav gets you more in this report.
Deeply rooted in Indian philosophy, yoga now finds its widespread acceptance in Western parts of the world as well. From finding a mention in Rig Veda to the present-day 21st century, yoga has come a long way. It has now taken the Western world by storm. Today, yoga has secured its place among the world's most popular fitness activities, speaking volumes of its speedy acceptance among people. It has been accepted by people of all ages, religions, ethnicities, making it a perennial gift of Indian wisdom to the world. On the 11th of December 2014, the United Nations General Assembly designated June the 21st as International Yoga Day. Not only this, interestingly, a Guinness World Record was also created at the UN headquarters in 2023, where the International Youth Day event led by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi saw the participation of 135 nationalities in New York City, which is the most in one yoga session.
I want to recognize Prime Minister Modi for all he has done to promote understanding of yoga and its many benefits. Yoga unites. It unites body and mind, humanity and nature, and millions of people across the globe for whom it is a source of strength, harmony and peace.
It also made a presence during the G20 summit last year as yoga postures were adorned at the walls of Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, which is the convention complex where the summit was held. Ahead of the International Yoga Day this year, participants immersed in a unique experience, practicing yoga amidst the iconic backdrop of the Statue of Liberty, Brooklyn Bridge, the United Nations, and the Empire State Building. Yoga is a major source of the country's cultural export that highlights India's growing influence globally.
The message being given by our Honorable Prime Minister also is loud and clear, that we give the world the art and science of yoga.
In difficult time, I come back to yoga.
India is the place to spread spirituality across the globe.
Standing as the pinnacle of India's soft power projection, it has the capacity to foster connection among countries, cultures, and communities.
The dissemination of yoga across the entire world highlights India's underlying commitment to the promotion of health and wellness across the world. It not only underscores and strengthens bonds between individuals, but also highlights an inner commitment by connecting the mind and body. With camera person Mohit, this is Priya Yadav reporting for DD India.
All right, let's turn focus to sports now. World champion Neeraj Chopra clinched the gold medal in men's javelin throw at the prestigious Paavo Games 2024 in Finland on Tuesday. With a commanding throw of 85.97 meters, Chopra not only secured the top podium spot, but also delivered a performance that solidifies his status as a front-runner for the upcoming Paris Olympics. The Indian team trained hard at the iconic Kensington Oval on Tuesday, gearing up for the big match against Afghanistan in their first Super 8 encounter on Thursday. Indian star batsman Virat Kohli, who is currently in the Caribbean for the ongoing T20 World Cup, met West Indies great Sir Wesley Hall. Hall played 48 test matches and got 192 scalps, and in his first-class matches in which the speedster picked up 170 wickets. All right, that's it in this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and the iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screens to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.